Greetings, I'm Rob Chappers and welcome to this video all about Chapman guitars. I've got to find some shade. This is insane. It's over 40 degrees Celsius today. On Chapman Guitars Instagram recently, I did one of those ask me anything type poll questions. And we had so many responses that I couldn't video them each individually and reply to them each. And so I thought, you know what, best thing to do, make a YouTube video and answer as many of them as possible in a YouTube video while I go for a walk through my local forest establishment. So here we go. If you asked a question, chances are I'm going to answer it for you today. Starting with Certified So Delicious. Can Rob just give himself free Chapman guitars for free? Wait, I read that badly, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I mean, nothing's for free. My company still has to pay to have them manufactured. But yes, if I want a guitar, I can take one. Perks of owning a guitar company. Can I get some Chapman picks, please? We actually don't have any Chapman guitar picks at the moment, but we probably really should do. That was from Manimal71. If anyone remembers the original Manimal, then they were born around the same time as me. 1975, baby. Will the new edition Ghost Fret be available in left-handed? Says L_Chaventre. Almost certainly. I would have thought. We try and support our Southpaw brethren as much as possible. It isn't easy, but we try. Mattus Hobbies says, what guitar model are you the most proud of? Design, sound, public opinion. That's a really, really hard question. But the one that I was the most involved in, or the two that I was the most involved in, were ML3RC and the Ghost Fret. And I think the Ghost Fret is my proudest achievement, particularly the way the body works, the carved top on the Pro Series Ghost Fret. I really love that guitar. Show some prototype guitars you're working on. Nope, it's all top secret unless you are a Chapman artist or an uber close friend / family member of Chapman Guitars. You don't get to see the prototypes until they are absolutely locked down and ready, because we change things all the time. You know, we might go, oh no, the volute's wrong, or the carve on the belly thing's the wrong shape, or the colour's off, or, you know, so we have to chop and change stuff all the time. And there's no point in showing you something that you might really like, but then we have to change it. You know what I mean? Matthew Bettenker Music says, how are you guys so good at making guitars? Surely there is a level of sorcery involved. Well, that's very nice of you, sir. That's down to the incredibly hardworking team at Chapman. And in terms of design, although obviously we collaborate as much as possible with the designs, a lot of that is down to the legendary Dave Hollingworth of Tosca and Dorje fame, who is our head designer. Not to discount the hard-working efforts of everybody else, especially Paul Jones, who has been our tech and pretty much full-time at Chapman for years now. He and Dave are the dream team machine, basically, is what they are. Oh, the shade is not working. Jack_Tugwell_ says, best affordable Chapman for all styles to play. That's quite a subjective question. Wait, I can't put you there. Where can I put you? Yeah, best affordable Chapman for all styles. Probably something like an ML3 Pro traditional, because although it's a traditional, the single coils in them are very powerful if you need them to be. You can roll them back and they really clean up. I use that for almost everything. I mean, Clockwork Wolf & Company, I've used the ML3 Pro Traditional for everything so far, and some of that gets quite heavy and a lot of it gets quite chilled as well, so that's my bet for you. Interesting one here. So, the Qatar VII. Are there any classic S-style guitars on their way? Wouldn't you like to know? What do you think? Am I being too obvious here? It is something that Lee has specifically requested. A lot of people have asked us to just make an S-type guitar, single coils, the whole shebang. We are really considering it, and I think it would be a cool thing to do. We probably would need to involve someone who's really good at playing that kind of style of guitar. Someone that's a real close friend of Chapman. I don't know, maybe you could think of who that might be. What do you need to get sponsored by Chapman Guitars, says Aris_MVR. You need to be a really good guitar player so that if you got up on stage next to somebody like Rabia Massad or Yo Onichan, you would hold your own. You need to be a really nice person, and you need to love Chapman Guitars, and you need a following. It is a two-way relationship. We help you in all sorts of ways, and most of our artists will from time to time get a free product, sometimes several, sometimes even a signature product, but in return what we ask is that they help to market the guitars. You know, we sell more guitars because of them. By the way, I don't know whether this is interesting, nothing to do with Chapman Guitars, massively off topic, but they're harvesting the salt from my salt pans. Do you see that? That one white square is entirely full of salt. For any salt fans out there. Mela, Marcus.Sterling_725_. Any completely new shapes in the works? So yes, there are 2 or 3 completely new shapes in the works. One of them has been in the works for about 3 years now, and it is something that I've really wanted to do for a long time. I've called it Project Falcon, and it is kind of a hybrid shape. And to be honest with you, when our current plague struck, we slimmed down the operation. We did everything we could to ensure the security and longevity of the project and the business, and make sure that our staff had a job. So we kind of put those fun things on hold and focused more on regular stuff that we were producing and collaborating on with you. So they will return when the planet is a bit safer. At the moment, our main issue is that things like manufacturing times are really, 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 really long because wood and magnets are in short supply. Guess what guitars are made from? It's insane. I have actually looked at making guitars from other things. I'm really interested in making a guitar from bamboo. I think that would be awesome. I think it would sound good. And obviously bamboo it's everywhere. But we've yet to find a way of sourcing bamboo that isn't just like a laminate sheet, like MDF made of bamboo. We'll get there at some point. Poetry in Telegrams, that's a really nice name, says more 8-string models, or 9-string. Well, we are about to launch a 7-string at the beginning of next year. In fact, look, I'm going to tell you now, there's a lot of cool new stuff coming out at the beginning of next year, and a lot of it was supposed to happen much earlier, but it's going to happen around NAMM time next year. I'm talking like lots of new stuff. One of them is a 7-string. Yeah, and Mayonnaise Mans also says any plans for another 7-string. So yes, end of the year, you're going to see a 7-string, and it's a beautiful 7-string as well. It's really, really nice. Beautiful contours, some interesting new tech and designs from Dave. It's a really special thing. RJ_Caneo_music. We love you, bro. You're such a great dude. I don't have anything to ask, but I got to express my gratitude and say mahalo to you all. RJ, thank you, bro. Thank you very much. Mahalo to you. And also, I'm thinking about some of the poor guys in Hawaii right now having a hard time with fires. It's awful. And, what can we do? I mean, this planet's getting warmer. You know what I mean? I'm feeling it right now, I'll tell you that for sure. Ruder8622, love my Ghost Fret and V. Any chance of the V making a comeback? I am right now waiting for Dave to be free to work on a V design with me. I want a signature V for Clockwork Wolf and Company, and actually for Criterion as well. We just started recording. Well, Gus has just put down the rhythm guitars for Criterion, and I'm really excited about that. there's a lot of design. Oh, man, so much better. A lot of design work to do for all of the current Chapman range, so it's taking time. But I had an idea for like a semi-hollow V, and it's something that I've wanted to do for a number of years. I love V guitars, the way they feel when you stand up and play them live. There's nothing quite like it. And so I had an idea for a semi-hollow V, pickup configuration, woods, materials, but then a lot of the materials I wanted to use are limited now. They're hard to get hold of, or they're very expensive. Like some timbers have quadrupled in price. It's not just a problem for the guitar industry, it's a problem for anyone that uses wood, you know. So that's an issue. But we'll overcome it, you know. We'll find a way through. I think it's just going to take a bit longer than normal. But yeah, I really want a V. Love Vs. Here's an interesting one. Ty Galleval, or Tiger Level. I see what you did there. Hypothetical. As an owner of a guitar company, how would you feel if an artist did a Kirk Hammett? I don't think ESP or Gibson have a choice, really. I mean, Kirk, you know, he's laid down a lot of the foundations in Metallica for a lot of the bands that we listen to now. Metallica are unfathomably large and inspirational, especially to me. I love Metallica. And if someone like Kirk Hammett comes to you and says, I want to make a guitar, you just go, sure. And if you have a relationship with someone like that and they say, I want to make a guitar with someone else as well, you just go, whatever makes you happy, man. And I think that's what it is. I mean, with our artists, we ask them if they make a product with us, they need to stay, you know, with us. By the way, there's no contracts with our artists. They're all contract free. I don't really believe in that. And also, our artists are entirely free to play any brand of guitar they like, whenever they want. That's it. They're free. I don't think guitar players should be told what to play. But if you make a product, it's a little bit cheeky, isn't it, really? But, you know, whatever. 6686, will there ever be a sustainable, cost-effective way for you to open up a custom shop? Man, I hope so. We have been trying to do this for such a long time. I know that Dave and Pabs are the foundation, the skeleton of a custom shop, and it's going to happen, but it's going to take time. Oh, my phone's getting real hot. It might switch off in a minute, and I might have to cool it down. Pete_Lola, any chance of the ML3 semi-hollow making a return? Yep, pretty soon. It's looking stunning. I mean, really soon. I'm going to get one in a few weeks' time. J8URR. Do you like the jelly in pork pies? You, sir, are a wrong-un. No, I do not. I despise that filth. Yes, I am British and also now Maltese, but I am not a jelly and pork pie fan. I do like some odd combinations. My son recently enjoyed peanut butter on toast with ketchup on top, and I thought, that's disgusting, until I tried it. And then I realised, you got to have a brain with no holds barred, you know, just experiment with life and feel free, and you might enjoy peanut butter and ketchup. He was right. Jelly is wrong. Is there a possibility for some more ML2Js in the future, says long_IT95. Well, that exact model was a one-off special for Thomann, but maybe with some tweaks it could be something that we revisit. If you do want an ML2J, Thomann still have them in stock. They have the modern version and the traditional version. I have both. They're incredible. We make them from our Indonesian factory, and actually they are some of the first guitars that Dave designed from scratch, obviously with Thomann. We're really proud of them. But I'm sure we'll do something at some point, but for now, it's a Thomann special, and we're really happy that they work with us and make things like that. It's cool. George.Sothuth. Will you release more Lefties? Yeah, we will always continue and strive to release as many left-handed guitars as possible. It's just that when you have to stop production and then manufacture a short run, the factories get a bit like, well, that takes us a lot of time and we're making lots of guitars. And Chapman's still relatively a small brand in comparison to every other guitar brand. So you know, it's not always possible, and it puts the price up for Chapman, which we try and swallow to make things the same price for you. So yeah. Tejan.binder. Will you ever make a yellow guitar? Absolutely. I love yellow guitars, as well you know. Big fan of the Yamaha yellow. Segueoed says, any financing options coming soon? So you can currently buy a Chapman guitar direct from Chapman, which means it's set up by our techs at HQ, and then we can ship it globally anywhere, and we ship for free. So what this guy is saying is, do we have financing if you buy direct? No, sorry, we can't offer that yet. If you buy a guitar from Thomann or Guitar Center or Andertons, then there are financing options. Ayrton_James, I know you, sir. Thank you. Ever thought about doing an SG style guitar? Yes, we have thought about that a lot, and probably it's a vote that will come up at some point next year, I would have thought. There aren't many shapes we haven't experienced or expressed or worked on. You know what they are, because you guys vote on them. Kieran.Offlin, any new deeply gorgeous guitar tops on the way? Yep. Yes, there are, sir. There are. We're looking at making something from Corina at the moment, which is cool, because we've never done that before, and I love Corina. Actually, the first ever Ghost Fret prototype was made of Corina, and I loved it. Spritatious, pretty sure that's how you pronounce that. Will Chapman ever make a bass? A bass with the Chapman mojo would be awesome. You, sir, must be new to Chapman guitars. Welcome and feel happy. Grow a beard. Have a beer, unless you're underage, in which case don't. We made a bass, we loved it, and then we stopped because there were manufacturing inconsistencies. We will be making basses. Our head designer is a bassist, which actually is really useful when you look at all the physics of making a guitar. Someone that understands bass is pretty handy. We will be making basses. And then someone else, Jacksident, Dave. Jack_Dare Music, you're all legendary. Thank you, sir. We're not, we're just people. But I really appreciate you saying that. And that's very nice. You know who I think are legendary? Firefighters. They're legendary. People that work as first responders, they're legendary. People that work in hospitals and doctors and people that do a real job, they are, oh man, so hot. They're legendary. I'm a beard-wearing, guitar-making dad. Glenn Foos, any acoustic guitars in the near future? Not the near future, but I really, really, really want to launch a guitar brand for acoustics. I don't know whether it would be Chapman. I actually have another brand name, but I would love to make an acoustic line with my dad, actually, because Dad's an acoustic guitarist, has been his entire life, and he has some interesting ideas, and I think it would be cool to work with Dad on some acoustics. But again, it's one of those things that needs to take time to happen. NMCD79, this is more for Mr. Lee. Can I please be a guest on the Andertons YouTube channel? Well, Lee, now's your opportunity. NMCD79 would like to appear on the Andertons YouTube channel, so you can hit him up and that kind of thing. Yabby Bell, what's been the most obscure Chapman you've ever created? We made a prototype of a real Ghost Fret, semi-fretted, with the bass side fretted and the treble side unfretted, and it worked real well. I haven't got it here, unfortunately, but that's probably the most obscure proto we've made. We did make a fretless once as well. Johnny_Dove85, Rob, what happened to that slide guitarist Nelly that busks in Brighton? He lives in Brighton and he busks. He's fine. From as far as I know, he still does that. He was doing some production work too. Okay, Taco_the_great. What strings are best for an ML2 Classic Pro for low tuning? Anything from Ernie Ball. Can't tell you enough how wonderful A, the Ernie Ball product is, and B, the Ernie Ball family is. Sterling, Brian, all the guys at Ernie Ball, honestly, they've done so much for me personally, and for Chapman, I can't even begin to express my gratitude. They are a fantastic family and they make brilliant products, And Sterling makes me hungry on a continual basis with his Instagram food show-offs. It's almost annoying. So yeah, Ernie balls. And I use 10 to 52 paradigms, and they're brilliant. And I use them for drop C. So that'll do you. Fancy, so McFarlane_020. Hey man, how you doing? Thank you for being an amazing person and following us for years. Fancy a new employee? I'm here if needed. Dude, as soon as we need a new employee, you'll be one of the first to know. Will there be so Isaac Music Fishing. Will there be a Chapman Dean style ML/Cadillac, etc.? Probably not, because how do I say this? There's not been enough time passed. I feel it would be a little bit disrespectful. And actually, if you haven't seen some of the stuff that Dean makes at the moment, it's really beautiful. You should check out Dean's new stuff. He's doing like laser etching on bodies, and I have to say, he is an innovator, and I respect him for that. And I wouldn't want to copy some of those crazy shapes. Turs_Breitenbach_ biggest competitor. I don't believe in competitors. That's a bold and random statement to make, but let me explain what I mean by that. There's only one Chapman guitars. You know, we're not Gibson, we're not ESP, we're not PRS. They all make brilliant guitars. I own them, and I respect them. And Chapman is trying to do our own thing, especially going forward with new shapes. And so the only competitor is really us. If we grow lackluster or fall prey to bullshit drama or just get our eyes off the task, it's us. So we carry on, and I think, I've always tried to be the guy that played other brands, promoted even other brands through my YouTube channel, because I'd like to feel that we're a big family. Places like the NAMM show really show that off. I'd much rather feel like we were a big family than feel that we were competing in any way. Of course, from time to time, a brand will copy another design or launch something very, very similar. You just got to roll with the punches. That's all it is. Nothing to worry about. Mr_Goldbar. When will extended range guitars come back? Soon. Very soon. January. Laver_Danny. In my country, the medium salary, it's 400 euros. How can I buy a guitar? Okay, so this is the universal question of how can I afford to buy a guitar? And the answer is, you have to do what I did. Start by saving as much as you can. And if you're in a position to be able to save, that is, because not everyone can, understand that a guitar is a luxury purchase and that food and petrol and kids and stuff is more important. And then when you've saved up, buy something affordable and secondhand. That's what I would do. That's what I did. And then trade up. You know, at some point sell it, buy another secondhand guitar, and then trade up. And then eventually you've got the cash to buy a new guitar if you'd like to. But you don't have to go in balls deep and buy a £2,000 pro level whatever. You know, just rather than worrying about not being able to afford something that you can't afford, why not do what you can do? And what you can do is take your time, save, and good luck. I know you can do it. Put your mind and heart to it. You can do it. What would be your favourite new Chapman model coming out? Shit, I don't know. There's quite a few, and I like a lot of them. The ML2 is kicking ass. That's pretty exciting. There's some really beautiful traditional standard type ML3s popping out soon. There's a whole lot of nice stuff. I'm biased. I don't know. I can't answer that question. The Corona Mortis. Hey man, good to see you here. How have you learnt as a brand from any faults, and how did they change you? Yeah, I think it's not a fault really, but being one of the smallest brands in a guitar factory sometimes means that timings get moved around, and you have to just, accept that you're a small fish in a big pond, and then lower your expectations on delivery and dates and things. And also I think it's important to build to design the guitar that the factory you are working with can build, rather than designing a hugely aspirational, crazy thing that the factory isn't used to making. So we try as much as possible to work with the factory on what they are good at making, and then that way you get the most out of the factory. Can you give us a near date on the new ML2 reveal, says Scott_Dunn_. Yes, I will have one personally to show you in October, probably the end of October. And then a couple of months later, they'll be available to buy. Champagne Delhi says, please make an offset. Okay. Is a negative one. I think it's important to read those. Yanis.Robbins. Why are Chapman guitars set up so badly from the factory? My ML3 Pro had basically no setup. Well, that makes me sad. Chapman guitars are set up at the factory, as in they're strung, the neck should be straight, and that's it. But here's how it works. Chapman guitars are made to order for the retailers. So, I don't know, Thomann buys 500 guitars. They buy them direct from the factory, and they are made to order for Thomann. Thomann gets the guitars, and we give our retailers a really big margin. Like, I'm talking a quarter to a third more than almost all of our competitors. And we do that because 50% of this company is owned by Andertons, who's a retailer who knows how difficult it is to be a guitar store. So we try and look after them because they sell our guitars. But in return for a whopping big cut on the guitar sale, they have to have an in-store tech that sets them all up. So if you receive a guitar from a store and it's not been set up, then that store hasn't done its job. And I would ask you to tell me which store you bought it from. And I would also ask that you tell them to set it up. It is their responsibility. Like, whenever you buy anything, it is the responsibility of the retailer that you purchased it from to see you right. So I'm sorry that it wasn't set up, and it annoys me because it's my family name. But it's the retailer's responsibility, and we pay them to do it. Gowie Diane, why are we still using wood to make guitars? Well, that's a really easy question to answer because it sounds good. It sounds good and it feels good, and it's an easy material to work, and the industry is based, or all the machinery is based upon working with wood. So of course it's quite a difficult thing to change. We are looking at alternatives, but I really like wooden guitars. I think everyone does. That's why people buy wooden guitars. I don't really like acrylic. I don't really like metal. And I think as long as you are committed to sustainability, which actually, by the way, we have to be, it's law that the materials you use to make the guitars from fit all these different legal points, especially selling to Germany and America, then it should be fine. So yeah, that's why. Thank you so much for coming on this woodland adventure walk with me. If you have any other questions for Chapman guitars, not just for me, but for the whole team, then please fire them in the comments section below. And if I can, I'll answer it for you. Have a great day. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this. Please like, please comment, please share, all that kind of good stuff. Take it easy. Chappers out.